Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's just gonna be something super simple. I'm just gonna get ready. Obviously I look dead right now. Ava has a parent-teacher conference at 4:30, which is gonna be virtual, so I have to get ready for that. And I figured I would go ahead and film the process of me and kind of just show you guys my updated like pregnancy makeup routine. It's kind of simpler now that, you know, I just don't have the time and energy like I used to before I was pregnant. Stay tuned. Okay, first things first, I like to use the Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Misting Spray. This is my favorite. I usually just put this on right before my makeup and then right after my makeup. It smells so good too. It's my favorite. And then after I do that, I use my Pixie Hydrating Milky Serum. I just put a little bit, I don't even use a little dropper. I just put a little bit on my cheeks. I like to use it before I apply my makeup. Once that is rubbed in, I grab my Tarte primer, and this is the Timeless Soothing Primer. It just looks like this, and I just get enough to put right here and right here just to try to cover up my pores. My pores are kind of big. I like to make sure that my skin looks smooth and all the pores are gone. Now once the primer is on and I feel like it's smoothed on to my face just enough, I go ahead and I go in with two foundations, two different color foundations. And they're both by Wet n Wild, and one is actually a matte and the other one's just a regular foundation. But I go in with these two. These are my all-time like OG foundations. I always used to use Wet n Wild. And then I went back to it recently and I'm back in love with Wet n Wild. So I use the Bronze Beige, and then I go in with Desert Beige. So what I do is I put the lighter one, which is the non-matte one. I focus it where I really want it to look highlighted.
Hi guys!
And then I put the darker matte one right on the outside of my face.
Bye guys. I was gonna shake mommy.
And then I like to go in with my brush, the Real Techniques brush, but I don't know what it's called because it's rubbed off. But I just go in and rub in all the foundation. Once I'm done using my brush, I go back in with my sponge and kind of just pat it in and make sure that there's no leftover foundation anywhere that I might have missed. If y'all are wondering where Bubba is, he's taking a nap. This is the only time I can get ready is when Bubba is sleeping. And Ava's actually playing with her dolls. So this is my me time. Once the foundation is set in, I go in with my Fit Me powder. This is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless in Natural Beige. And I like to use this just to set where my most oily places would be. So like my chin, around my nose, a little on my forehead, and a little bit on the cheeks. Just like that. And then that's it for that. Next, I do my brows. I started using this Crew pomade. It's Jose's, but I really like it. I use it to set my eyebrows. I'll just take just a regular spoolie. What I do is I grab the spoolie and I dip it into the pomade just a little bit, not too much. I just go in and brush my eyebrows the direction I want them to go. And then once I like where they're laying, I will go ahead and move on to the next brow and start laying that one. Okay, and then once they're laid, I go in and I start outlining where I want my brows to be, or I start outlining the outside of my brows. So sometimes I'll use a pomade, sometimes I use a pencil. Today I'll go ahead and use the pomade, and I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills one in the dark brown. So I just grab an angled brush and I barely dip it into the pomade. I like to go on the outside of the pomade and just barely grab any. And then start outlining my brows. And then once I feel that that brow looks decent, I won't clean it up yet. I'll go ahead and move on to the next brow, and then when I add my concealer is when I go ahead and clean up underneath my brows as well. So brows are done. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my concealer, and my go-to concealer, it's a drugstore and it's very affordable also, is the Milani Perfect Conceal, and I use light beige. Okay, and I just go in and I do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then this is where I clean my eyebrows. I'll go in right underneath my eyebrow and outline the brow to clean it up. Once that's on, I get my foundation brush, and this is from Tarte, and I go in and just blend. I don't clean up my eyebrows just yet with the brush because I like to use my finger, because I feel like when you use your finger you can blend it in more. Plus you can use the concealer as a base for your foundation. It's kind of like a trick that I've learned. So now that that is blended underneath, I grab like my finger, one of my fingers, and I blend down and blend in the concealer. And I use, like I said, I use some of the concealer as a base for my eyeshadow. Done blending. I blended the concealer into my eyes. This side I gotta finish, so I will be right back. The concealer is blended, and I know that I said this is like a simple makeup for me. It is. I think just talking about it and showing you guys how it's done makes the process longer, so it may not seem so simple. But once you're in the routine of it, I promise it takes you like 10-15 minutes to do your makeup. Next, I'm gonna go in with my setting powder, which I use the Derma Blend. Go in with that. It's an illuminating banana powder, and I just take any brush and I just dump a little bit on the lid because it makes a mess. And I just tap right underneath my eyes. That way there is no creasing. And then that way it bakes it in there. A little bit on the forehead so I'm not oily. A little bit on the chin, and then that's it. And then you let that bake while you're doing your eyeshadow. For eyeshadow, my go-to palette right now is Evolve by Beauty Bay. And this is like the fall essential palette. I absolutely love this palette. It looks like this. It's so pretty. I love this color scheme. It's perfect for fall, like I said. I'll just take my brushes. I'll take just a regular brush. And you always want to start off with your, what's it called? What's it called? So we always start off with a lighter color for the crease. So I'm going to start off with this neutral looking one, it's more white, and really just go in at the top, nothing too crazy. and just blend that out. Do the same on the other side. And then once that's all blended, then I'll go in with a more neutral, darker looking color. So we'll go in with this one right here, and we'll go in the crease as well and kind of just blend those together. The key is to blend, 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 blend. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Okay, once I feel like those are blended, then I'll go in with a darker color than that one. I'll probably change my brush to this brush. And we'll do this one right here. And we'll pack that into the crease again. That's all blended. So then we're gonna put just a little bit of a darker brown right on the outside of our eyes to give it some definition. I'm gonna go in with this brown right here and just pack it on the outside of my eye and kind of blend it upward. And when I'm done doing that, I'll use a different brush to blend it all together. We're really just focusing on packing it on right now. Okay, it's packed on. So I'm gonna go in with that same brush I was using and just blend them together. Once that is all blended together and it looks like this, I'm going to just take a shimmery shade with my finger and just pack it onto my eyelid. I'm not going to do no fancy cut crease or anything like that. I'm probably going to use, let's use this one. Yeah, we'll use this color right here on my finger and just pack it onto my lid. Just like that. Something super simple. Not doing nothing crazy. We ain't got time for crazy. Once the eyes are done, I will grab a lighter shimmer just to put it on the corner of my eyes and to make it look, just kind of give it a pop. So I'll go in with this one right here, this lighter beige shimmer, and just barely put a little bit on the inner corner. You see how it gives it pop? It's kind of a difference. Just a little bit. And then kind of blend that in. And then your eyeshadow is done. Super easy and simple. We'll go ahead and do eyeliner today. So today we'll do a brown. I've been really liking the brown eyeliner lately because it just looks more neutral. I'll use the brown in the Tartiste liquid liner side. Looks like this. And just barely go on the top of my lid and kind of just wing it out. I've noticed with the lighter colored liners, like liquid liners, you do have to go over them a few times because it just doesn't show up as good. So you have to go over it a couple of times to get the color to pop. So the wings are done, and when I do the simpler wings, I don't like to go all the way across my eyelid with the liner. I think it looks prettier, just kind of looks like a smoked out kind of look. So I'll just leave it. I kind of just put it right on the inside, barely going towards the inner corner. All right, once that's all done, we were still baking, so I'll take my fat brush I think they're called kabuki brushes, and just wipe away all that baking that we were doing and kind of just blend it into my face. I do contour a little bit, and when I do contour, I like to use the Run Wild BH Cosmetics palette. They have a contour color in there, it's called Cocoa. And it's a very pretty color. Since I've been pregnant, my face is skinnier than it usually is, and I look like all the time, so I don't like to contour a whole bunch because I'll look crazy. So I just barely do any and just barely sweat my cheeks. Now in that same palette, they also have blush, and I like the Crush blush. I barely take any. A little goes a long way. I just tap it and just put it on my cheeks, and do the same on the other side. And again, in that same BH Cosmetics palette, you open it up. I like how it's so cute the way it folds. But when you do open it up all the way, they have highlight colors in here. I will take my Tarte brush and slightly dip into the highlight color and just barely put any on. I'm not huge on highlight lately. I don't know, I'm just not as big as I was on highlight. So I just barely put any on the cheeks, a little bit on the nose, and call it a day. Okay, so my face is done. I'm saving my eyelashes for last, but what I'll do is I'll go back in with my Glow Recipe watermelon spray that I used and just barely go over. And then once that's on, I go in with my Milani Make It Last setting spray and spray this over my face. So that completes my face. Like I said, it's really easy, really simple, and it's like my go-to thing right now. It's so easy. As for mascara, I use a Tarte, the Sugar Rush Collection eyelash curler, and any mascara by Maybelline, it never fails me. I love their mascara, and you have to get the very black, and it has to be waterproof. But I always try a new one when it comes out, and right now I'm using the Falsies Lash Lift, and then the Falsies Volume Express. So this one I'll use for my top lashes, and this one I like the brush for the bottom lashes. And when I curl my lashes, I curl them close to the lash line, and then I'll move towards the middle, and then I'll kind of do just a little bit of the top of the lashes, that way it gives it a full curl. Also, fun fact, I have a beauty mark in my eye. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there is a beauty mark in my eye. So I usually do 2 to 3 coats of mascara on the top, brushing it all the way up to the top. And the bottom lashes, I go in with the Falsies Volume Express. Shake your brush just a little bit to make sure you get the lashes. So this is with and without mascara. It does make a big difference. That concludes today's look. I went ahead and just threw my hair up in a messy bun for today. It's still kind of wet because I had just showered before the video. So not dealing with the blow dryer and straightening it or curling it. Threw on just a little nude Tarte lipstick, just something simple. At the end of this video, I will go ahead and show you guys all the products I used. That way, if you're interested in trying them, they're super affordable, and I will leave them in the video so you guys can go and find them. And we'll do like a little montage.